Okay. Taking a slightly different focus, in my generation, I look back at the landmark year of 1993 when England won the inaugural World Cup Sevens. Since then, do you think there have been a number of landmark years where Sevens has kicked on again, or the focus on Sevens has changed?
In the UK?
In the UK or even internationally?
I think the introduction of the IRB World Series in '99 was a big change, and it took a year or two to get up and running, and then you've just seen that snowball from there, and that's just gone from strength to strength year on year. You know, and what you've seen probably over the last couple of years since the Olympics decision, which I think was a massive turning point for a lot of the periphery countries, is that rather than the 2 or 3 tournaments around the world on the IRB World Series being packed out, you're now seeing all of them selling out, and that's just raised the coverage, the profile, the investment opportunities, you know, in no end. And as a consequence, you're seeing so many angles opening up for the IRB to explore in terms of raising funds and investment, but also you're seeing the investment within the countries. Mm-hmm. You know, these developing countries that want to be a part of this Olympic dream. You know, you look at Russia, you look at China, it's now part of their school curriculum. Yeah. So that immediately gets them funding. So whilst 2016 may be too early for them, you know by 2020, 2024, it's been in the school curriculum for 10 years, that they're going to be a formidable outfit on the game of sevens. Mm. That coupled with the nations that realise it is their only way to compete at the top table. So, you know, I think there's probably been, you know, like I said, I look at the start of the World Series and then the Olympic decision as kind of 2 real landmarks on the international game. Yeah. And when I say that, I mean that Olympic decision just raises the profile from the women's game as well. Mm-hmm. Because, you know, you're going to start to see these countries around the world where the women's game is starting to grow no end. I mean, England and New Zealand have always kind of historically monopolised that. Yeah. But, you know, you're going to see other countries appear in Brazil, Netherlands, you know, fully professional teams. Canada and USA will see their women's teams as real opportunities to win gold medals, which means that they get more funding than the men's team. So, you know, it's an interesting dynamic going on. Mm. And I think the other kind of swerveball in all this is how are they going to select the 12 teams that participate in the Olympics for the men and women? Because it's not a 16-team tournament, which is normal for an IRB or a sevens tournament. It's a 12, because that's what Olympic team sports are on demonstration sports. But they want to ensure they get the best teams there, but they want to get a cross-section of the world. So if they go kind of geographical qualification, in theory, if you don't finish in the top 4 of the World 7 Series, let's take for one bizarre year that only New Zealand did, that means you would have Australia, Samoa and Fiji all in the same qualification spot for one spot. And that would mean that you will not have the best 12 countries at the Olympics, which may mean you'll have some weaker Tier 2 development nations that may go, which will, in a 12-team tournament, will devalue the competitiveness that you're trying to create in the tournament. So it's not by means of perfect, and there's still a fair few things to be sorted out, but you know, you need the best teams, irrelevant of geography, competing at the Olympics in both the men's and women's. And I think there's work to be done in trying to work out how they achieve that. Mm-hmm. And still allow these countries to grow and compete to become future Olympic participants.